Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel with the cheapest RS6 in the country, which was almost running and not really running, but mostly when it was running it was leaking oil. So I think we did sort out the main source of oil leak, which was reseal of the oil pump fully, and we couldn't finish it last time because we were missing some bits. So currently the whole thing is put back together except the complete end housing for the turbos. And why we couldn't finish it? Well, we have one more shaft seal which wasn't included in the kit, and that shaft seal is actually here on the last shaft for the turbo, so that will be replaced. And also thank you all for helping me on the RS6 V10 forum, because I did post that I'm building a oil pump, and some smart people told me, are you replacing the one-way valves in there? And I was like, no, because I can't get them. And then I started Googling, and believe me or not, we managed to find the one-way valves. So the one-way valve is here. It's a simple valve with a spring, nothing serious, but mainly these valves are for cylinder heads from 1.8 and 2 liter TFSI engines. And as a main dealer for this pump, you can't get it, but if you're gonna start digging around online and part numbers and comparing stuff, you will find eventually what you're looking for. So today we would like to finish the whole oil pump. We'll be putting the shaft seal, the one-way valve, and complete the whole oil pump, and we'll be installing it onto the car. So because we were on a holiday, I didn't want to leave the car on the run because guys have loads of work to do. So we have to put the subframe back on and everything. So it was like a rolling shell with engine installed in there still. And yes, the oil pump, like, it looks complicated, it looks big, and some people were a bit skeptical, like it's overcomplicated, but trust me, it's not that complicated, because on the end of the day, there's only, from the whole piece, this part is the oil pump which is making the pressure. Oil is coming from the front, and then, because it's a dry sump, the rest of the pump is actually sucking the oil from the bottom of the block. In the front you have water pump, and then thermostat housing with thermostat which goes in the front like on any V8 engines and V10 engines. And the pump is actually identical to a V10 Lamborghini or R8. However, the final bit is different, because this one has two turbos. So they have to put the additional housing for an oil return here and oil return there to suck the oil from the turbos into the pump and back into the tank which is behind the headlight. So it's not that complicated really. It looks scary, but trust me, it's not scary. So we'll be finishing off everything. We have all the gaskets here, the one-way valve and stuff. So let's get to it. Done.
Możesz.
Nie wiem. One shaft seal have died. Čo sa mu stalo? Koľko sa nemu zobrali? Okay guys, so very important note. You see that hole and that hole and the dot. The dot is not important, but we have a dot on the other side. The dot is not going in the dot, it's just like the top. So the dots are from the top. However, the main thing is this hole is going into that hole, and that is there for a lubrication from the housing over there. So this is basically like an oil pipe which goes in there, and how it's spinning is lubricating that, which means it's lubricating the other side. Very smart, you know. German engineering. Can't fault it unless it's broken.
Nie może.
Už nemôžeš.
Ako to formáty sú také cenovo, by som povedala, že asi ako už pomaly všade. Cca 380 počujem.
So the oil pump with everything is ready to be assembled to a point where we did everything what we could. So we have a new coolant pipe over here. We put a new O-ring on the end where is the shaft. So there's like a shaft seal, let's say. And we will keep the thermostat off the pump for now, because I remember when we were removing it, it was a bit tight setup. So that will go on afterwards. We did clean up the engine a bit from underneath. We're still gonna be cleaning it when the front end is gonna be off again. So right now we need to put one more O-ring over there, and we have to clean up the whole thing still. Because the car was off the ramp, we have to take the subframe off again, front end gotta come off again, so let's get to it. Že mi nám to rameno tlačí.
Čo ti jebe? Don?
No, že ono to príde za 4 hodiny, vieš?
Ja, to sme už vlastne všetko čítali asi.
Nie, dám zase 500 komentov.
Erik, ak si tam nedobrovoľne alebo utláčaný, tak máš to na všetky pomocníci. Raz bol a už som nešiel,
To mi to.
Jaké zemiaky?
Nemáš deti, že tam môžeš byť sám.
Aj.
Takže teraz si ešte nepamätám jednu vec.
Keď sa dá kúkala práca, sa tebe sám niekto tak zle vyzeralo. Aj to máš tam celý.
A už to tam je.
Ja viem.
Jo.
Ja viem. Je to tam. Dobre, dáš. Toto je presne to, čo vravím, že žiadna sranda. Do nekonečného z toho cigalolej. Righty then, oil pump is in place. It probably wasn't that bad as I was expecting it to be, but it was still pain. Those 2 points, which is the shaft, which is running from the engine to the oil pump, and the tube for the coolant, it needs to realign together somehow under an angle. So that was a bit of a pain. Also, we have to turn it a bit so it will literally go where it should go. And the biggest issue was the air compressor. So this bolt from the air compressor is too close to the oil pump. As you can see, the angle was quite a big to put the pump in there. Luckily it's all there. We managed to put one of the brackets, the holder for the oil pump, in there. So that is all good, few hoses and stuff. Next up, there's one more bracket in the front, what you will see from the top. That needs one extra bolt and a hose. Then we need to put the radiator panel together because all this is a bit under tension, and we'll be putting the thermostat on. So let's continue. Okay, and it's time to put the engine back together, well, whatever we remove. So, as I mentioned, labor-wise in the last video, it is quite loads of hours. It's a question of, do you want to remove the engine or don't remove the engine? Well, we will see shortly, if we're going to start it up, what kind of leaks we still have and how it looks like after we clean it up. But yeah, you can still tell the engine is in use condition, and overall, if you really want to have like oil free leak engine, you have to take the engine out, reseal everything what's available, and you can probably tell like we were like 80% into the removal. So I didn't drop the whole slam panel off, I just stilled the radiator, and it's easier than be removing the whole front end with all the additional things like air conditioning and stuff. So yeah, but still, labor wise, I believe to take the pump off, probably 4 hours of labor, put it back on, 4 hours of labor, stripping it down, cleaning it, probably another 4 hours of labor. So in total 12 hours of labor, I would say, just to do the oil pump. And that is plus all the gaskets and everything. So the reseal kit from RE Performance was like 600 quid. Water pump, I believe, is about 700-800. Thermostat is about 300-400. And yeah, it's another question if you're buying a new one or you're rebuilding the old one. But we managed to build the old one. Luckily there was no internal damage and stuff. We will see when we're gonna start the engine up for the first time if we actually repaired the leaks from the oil pump. It was definitely leaking in between the high pressure and the suction part, where you've seen the old rubber seals which were cracking there, were rock hard. So we are replacing everything. Even though on the invoices from 2 years ago or 3 years ago, all these O-rings were replaced. We always put new O-rings because there might be a small cut where you can't see and you will have an oil leak or coolant leak, and it might be in a place what won't require just an O-ring, but it will require additional stripping down half of the car. So whatever we're removing all the time, we put new O-rings when it comes to oil or coolant. So right now we are installing the hose or pipe which is going from a thermostat for oil to the front cooler. And these O-rings are quite expensive. I believe we did pay about £20 per O-ring or something like that, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. So straight away 160 gone from your pocket. So this is exactly the point where all the V10 owners will decide if you really want to be a V10 owner, because whatever you're gonna do on the car, even silly repairs, labor wise, it's always taking loads of time because the engine is just barely fitted into the engine bay. And material wise, genuine parts are a bit stupid money. If you maybe shop around, you get the correct size O-rings, you might save a bit of money, but we always use genuine if we can. So currently the oil cooler or the radiator is installed in front, which was removed because it was in the way, along with the pipe which is coming back on. And soon as that is on, we will continue with whatever is left. So luckily the car is not in a bad condition, like there were some rusty bolts or anything like that, because we even have cars where from the radiator, because it's aluminium, the bolts were stuck, they were broken, you have to drill them, or you will completely won't be able to remove them actually from the radiator. And the prices for a hose or pipe like that are probably stupid money if you can get them. That is another question. So there's loads of things what you probably will end up second-hand these days because you can't get them. And also coolant pipes where you've seen, luckily they were replaced, so whatever was like disintegrated from oil which was leaking from there, you can see the hoses are in good shape. On my RS6, the blue one, loads of them were expanded and I have to replace quite of them, but I still have to replace few which are left. Luckily it's not leaking coolant, but if I will be doing the air conditioning, I will be replacing few coolant hoses because I believe they will start leaking soon. So currently this is another radiator, which is a coolant radiator for something, don't know what, but definitely is very important because it's there. So all the clamps are coming back on, and once we will be finished we have to bleed the system, which will be a very funny thing to do because the coolant reservoir is actually a lower point than the whole matrix. So bleeding the system is probably good 2 hours, warming up, shut it down, opening the bleeding valve on the top, and it takes definitely loads of time. So subframe is coming on there. We will be connecting the suspension arms in a position when the car is fully loaded, and meanwhile we had everything off. We decided to replace the D-bushes on the sway bar in the front because they were a bit disintegrated, and also we'll put new drop links. So we will finish off everything what's needed and we will be starting the engine soon. Yeah. So here we are again, 9:30 in the evening. What else we will do in the evening? We managed to finish probably everything from the bottom. So oil pump, all the oil feed lines and coolant hoses and stuff is attached to the engine, which is good. We also put the subframe back on. We can't put the stabilizer links and everything back on because we don't have the D-bushes. Eric beautiful doggy ate them, unfortunately.
Just one.
Chew him actually. He didn't eat him, he just chewed him, but they're not good anymore. So we still have to tie the subframe in place, few connectors here and there, but mainly we have to finish it from the top and the front. There are a few pipes and hoses which are not connected here and there. And hopefully tomorrow we'll be filling the engine with oil and we'll be starting up, so hopefully it will not seize up after our whole oil pump repair. Milión chyb, podpojené baterky a coilpacky, neviem čo, to vymažeme. Dáme naspäť engine light. Dobre. Guys, so we were having a cover on the headlight which was broken, so we have a new one from TPS, all good, so no water is getting in there. Also, we can install the headlight in place, because otherwise when we put everything on there, the headlight is not able to come out. So the other headlight is already on there. This is probably the best lineup what we can do at the moment. If you ever strip down a A6, you probably know the headlights on these is absolutely pain to line up, so it looks good. I know I want to ask you something. No! Big paper things. Ću malo kupiti nove auto. And we are out from the workshop, guys, in a beautiful sunny England with a bit of water falling from the sky, unfortunately. And guess in the comments, have a guess, where we're going with the RS6 now. Like, what's the usual trip where you go with the RS6 as the first thing? A few more seconds, quickly, be typing. Okay, too late, I'll tell ya. we are going to the petrol station because the RS6 is a thirsty V10 bastard, but so far we only have a low fuel light. Then we have top up the windscreen washer, which we don't need to because it's water falling from the sky, and the whole car is performing all right. So as I mentioned, the car was running on the ramp for like 40 minutes, and we were, you know, sorting out the coolant and tried to bleed the coolant system and stuff. It was all right. It was all right. However, as I mentioned in the first video, there were a bit of oil spots from the top. I think now, because I have a look at the invoices, the PCV or the breather housing was replaced, and I believe that was the source of the leak, which was sorted and it needs cleaning. But we need to do some mileage here and there first of all to actually check if it's still leaking or not, and we'll be monitoring it. So if that's the case, that something like that needs doing, I'm not sure if we are able to do it like engine in the chassis. That will be engine removal, but we will see. So far we are going to the petrol station. We're probably going to put the fuel for like £10. That will be enough from the petrol station back to the garage, and we'll keep you updated. So far no engine lights. We have a diagnostic with us as well. The car's going straight, performing fine, and we'll keep you updated. Okay guys, so we are on our roads to the Mexico. We have a rainbow, we have a rainbow. Can you see the rainbow?
I can.
Okay, we're going to the rainbow because there will be loads of money, and we need loads of money for the petrol for this vehicle. But we did put like 60 pounds of petrol because why not? And currently so far we did like 25 miles, and so far no issues. Car sounds good, it's going straight, pulls fine, gearbox is shifting, everything seems to be behaving all right. When it comes to the vehicle, is it standard or not? I can't tell, but from what I can feel and what we've seen on the diagnostic, I think it's stock, it's not been remapped. Of course, it have the Miltec exhaust, I believe, with the catalytic converters. And when we check the diagnostic, what's the request from the turbo, from the ECU, it's only 1500 millibars requested. That's minus the atmospheric pressure. So basically it's boosting like 0.5 bar, not more, which it can be stock. It can be stock. So the car feels stock to me. It doesn't have that kind of a kick. When you put your foot down, of course, still a V10, it probably have that 600 bhp, and it feels good. There's only one problem what we're having on the engine ECU number 2, and that is a lambda sensor. We do have a bit of rain, ignore that, that is absolutely normal in the UK. Sun is shining, water is falling from the sky, it's absolutely amazing. But back to the problem in the engine ECU number 2. So we do have a fault code coming on with the lambda sensor, and it didn't bring up engine light on so far, and it shows no signal. The funny thing is, when we release the fault code, it will come back on after a couple of minutes, but even the fault code is on, it still shows reading from lambda sensor number 2, like lambda sensor number 1, bank 2 to be more precise. So I'm not sure what's the idea with it. We have to have a look into it. What it might be, it can be oil which was in the exhaust, stuck on it, it needs cleaning. When I say it needs cleaning, it needs engine removal to clean it, and I don't want to do it, but if that will be the case, we will have to do it. But what I want to say is, if you remember from the first video where I was showing the invoices, there was an invoice, or there was a part listed on the invoice as a sensor 1 bank 2 lambda sensor was replaced for 270, I don't know how many pounds. So I'm wondering if the fault was there before, they tried to repair it and it didn't help, and there's a different issue. So we'll drive it for a bit, we'll give you an update what's happening with it. But so far the car's fine, there's no engine light, everything's behaving fine, DRC is working brilliant. We are in comfort right now. If we put it in sport, it's much stiffer, you can feel every bump. So I'm an older person, I like to drive it in comfort, and yeah, we are enjoying local test drive. So stay tuned, we will be driving for a bit around here and there, and we'll give you an update if the engine seized up or something happened. got back from the test drive. Probably did like 40 miles, which is about 70 kilometers. The good news is we can't make it back. We don't need the recovery truck or anything. The bad news is the lambda sensor is still showing as a fault, some kind of a fault, but there's no engine light on, and everything seems to be working. There's no lip and everything is fine. Other good news is I don't smell any oil inside the car, coolant burning or something like that, which is actually good. And also the exhaust finally warm up, so it doesn't actually smell from the back or doesn't make any kind of a puff smoke clouds and stuff. So far good news. Right now we're going to lift the car on the ramp. We will check from underneath if there's any coolant leaks, oil leaks, and we're going to make sure like everything is fine. In case not, we have to make some other things to make it right, so let's lift it up. Okay, car on the ramp. It's dripping everywhere, mainly rainwater. So we have to clean up the torpedo, whatever you're gonna call it, the drain plugs, I believe they are, because we have rainwater coming on the exhaust here and stuff. This is all rainwater. Also on the other side, but the engine mainly, what we did is not leaking, which is good. The oil pump still looks sort of shiny and good and everything. So I'm happy with the job what we done on the pump, which is hopefully the main source of leak. Like I mentioned, the back of the engine and stuff, come and have a look here. It is a bit greasy, unfortunately. Yeah, it's not dripping oil, this hose and everything is dry from oil, but it is greasy here and there. Unfortunately, it's a 17-year-old car, so we didn't do an engine rebuild on it or anything like that, so the expectations are not low, but I believe this is like a bit of a normal condition of these engines. If you really want to do it properly, you gotta take the engine out, fully reseal it and do loads of it. So at this point, we will be driving it, testing it, and see how everything will go. We'll keep you updated, but I am happy with it. The car drives fine, everything seems to be cool. Miltic exhaust is still there, not rattling, everything seems to be fine. I'm not sure if you remember the back of the car, like compared to mine, all the DRC pipes and everything, they're not in such a poor condition as mine RS6 was. The problem with my RS6 was probably standing a lot on some grass or driveway, which was not really a dry, good condition driveway, but this is like average condition. Of course, if you want to have like really clean RS6, you have to pay the top shelf money for it, but this one is, yeah, the mileage is a bit high, but it is what it is. So I will be putting it up for sale, guys. I have no idea for how much yet, because it's not up for sale yet. I want to drive the car for a bit, and especially the lambda sensor is taking the piss. What I don't want to do is, I'm not sure if you're going to actually see the lambda. Come and try to check it. It's up there. You can't even see it. So the only way how to get to it is probably drive shaft off, the cover off and stuff. I don't want to do it for one purpose. There is an invoice for it, and the lambda sensor looks is new. So I'm still hoping, like, the whole problem with the lambda, it doesn't show an engine light or anything, but it could be that there was an oil from the intake which was burning, and it can be dirty or something, because like I mentioned when we drove the car, it was showing the values, which is good. There's no limp or anything. So this is the condition. We change everything what we seen. New plugs, new oil filter, oil pump is done, everything. You've seen all the invoices from the first video for the gearbox and everything. Like, I think it's a good car, generally. If you really want to put it in brilliant shape, you need to spend a bit of money on it, but if I'll be selling it, it will probably go for, I don't know, 12, 13, maybe 14 on the best day as it is. But it's a matter of if somebody willing to pay for the car that much, we'll see. I'm not in the rush to sell it. If somebody's interested, let me know. I mean, give me a shout. You can come down, you can have a look for your own eyes, what's the condition. You've seen the videos, what was done to it, and how the car looked like. So I still want to clean it all up. I want to put all the covers back on there and everything. Clean up the interior, exterior, wheels, wheel arches will be removed and stuff. We're going to film that as well. But yeah, I can't keep this. Mainly this car was brought because I did want to have a spare car, engine, gearbox and stuff for my RS6, which is running fine, so I don't need it anymore. So yeah, we will not sell it for parts because I think it drives, behaves as a car which should be allowed on the road. So yeah, it's all from the video, guys. Bit of a, I'm not sure how long the video will be, but it will be boring video again as usual. We will see you in the next one with another engines or more engines over there or whatever we do here. So, or maybe mine's full. So yeah, thank you for watching. We see you in the next one. Take care for now. See you. And hold on, don't go anywhere yet, because this is a couple of weeks later. The car is still here. I did drive it. It drives fine. We put an MOT on it, so we have a 1-year MOT, 129,000 on the clock. And I decided to sell the car as it is. It will be the cheapest one on the market. I'll leave a link on eBay listing in the description below. So if you want to have a car where you've seen everything, what's wrong with it, you've seen on the video, and yeah, the lambda sensor didn't clear, so it still show values. The fault code is stored over there. The engine runs fine and everything. We done like 80 miles since, so it doesn't smoke, which is good. There's a Miltec exhaust, so it's not like stupidly loud, but it is like lovely V10 sound. So yeah, if you are interested to purchase the car, you know where we are. There's loads of service history, what you've seen in the first video. So the invoices and everything, I think they are legit. The gearbox feel fresh and everything. There is a full V5 and everything with the car. So yeah, look, I'm not saying it's the best car in the universe, but I think for the money, which I believe will be like under £13,000, you are getting a car which is in good condition. So yeah, if you want to get in touch, go on eBay, go on our website. The car is here. I will be selling it till December time. If it won't sell till December, I have different plans with it, but yeah, we'll see. Thank you for watching. That's all from the video, guys. Take care for now. See ya. svetlometu, alebo so svetlometom. A tým, jak ten olej, ktorý už